Pitching staff. We talked about the first couple turns through the rotation. Very, very uninspiring. Last 2 weeks, it's been the best in baseball. The Mariners rotation is back to being the Mariners rotation.
At the end of the Brewers series, do you remember what their ERA was?
I do, because we both do prep for this show, Teach. So they were, so we may have slightly different notes that we wrote out. The Mariners starters ERA through the first 2 weeks of the season was 28th in baseball. It was at about 5.8. Now, through the last 2 weeks, it is first in baseball at 151.
Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty good. Just remarkable the heel turn it's done. And there were a smattering of good performances through the first 2 turns through, but that's it. Because especially that second turn through, I vividly remember after the Brewers series, like, man, this cannot happen. And it is not stayed. They've turned around and they've been remarkable and all been remarkable in their different ways. Even with Bryce Miller having his first, pretty bad start in Texas, they have gone 1 through 5 and they've all shown different ways to be successful. Even Emerson Hancock, not originally supposed to be in this rotation, coming up and performing exceptionally well and giving these guys a chance to go. Every single one of these guys could go 6 innings. They could strike guys out. They could limit walks, and they could do everything necessary to help this team win games. And it's not like it's absolutely a fact now that this is the best rotation in baseball. Who else is matching this? Nick, nobody else matches the upside of what this rotation brings. When everyone is pitching their best, as they've shown this season, without even considering Brian Wu, the Mariners have 4 number ones in their rotation. The conversation ends right there. 4 number ones. Luis Castillo, number 1. George Kirby, number 1. Logan Gilbert, number 1. And the newly minted Bryce Miller, when he's at his best this season with that splitter, he is a number 1.
It's pretty good. Some might argue the Phillies, that rotation's gotten off to a good start, but the upside of it is not what the Mariners' upside is. By the way, they've pitched like this the last 2 weeks, still without either George Kirby or Luis Castillo at their best. We've seen Logan Gilbert be one of the best in baseball. We've seen Bryce Miller, outside of this Ranger start, be one of the best in baseball. Their 2 top dogs in the rotation are not pitching the way yet that we all know they're capable of doing, and we all know they're going to get to. Now, when those 2 guys start to pitch like we know they can pitch, they get even better. And when Brian Wu steps back on a big league diamond, they get even better. So I say this again. Every time we talk about the rotation, I'm probably going to use this line. Please just get into the playoffs. Get in the field. If it's the last wild card, get the last wild card. But this rotation can take you the entire freaking way. So just find a way to get in, because this is the best rotation in baseball.
So I went through and counted yesterday. Logan Gilbert, I think, is the number 3 pitcher in this Mariners rotation. I went through and looked. How many teams would Logan Gilbert be a number 1 on? I counted. I came up with 19 teams he would be the best pitcher on, the best starter on. It's a pretty remarkable number. There could be some debate in there, but even if we say 16 to 19, how remarkable is that, man? How remarkable it is. And here's another fun experiment. You pull up everyone's baseball savant page and you look at all the different qualities they have. And the best thing you can do, we hammer this point home all the time, the best thing you can do is be not average. Be as less, what's the right term? Least average?
Unique. Unaverage? Unique.
Be as unique as possible. And certainly they are. Every single one is unique or really good at something. Emerson Hancock, not walking anybody. Great. Luis Castillo, his breaking ball run value this year, 96th percentile. Logan Gilbert, well, he's actually been just elite at everything. He is 100th percentile in pitching run value. So out of all pitchers, in terms of preventing runs, Logan Gilbert is your guy. George Kirby, fastball run value, 93rd percentile. Bryce Miller, where's Bryce? Did I pass Bryce? Uh-oh. Oh, here's Bryce. He is 96th percentile in pitching run value. Isn't that unbelievable? Like an elite stat from all 5 players in your rotation.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I should say it is believable because we know how good this rotation can be, but when you actually lay it out like that and map it out like that, yes. I don't want to put you on the spot here if you are going to be put on the spot. but you said 19 teams, Logan Gilbert would be their number one. Do you have them written down, or like, do you have the 11? You don't have them written down.
No.
All right. We're just going to kind of go through a fun exercise anyway of, let's say, the 11 teams where he wouldn't be the ace. Like, so if I'm just going down by divisions, I'm guessing you still had Framber Valdez over him in Houston, or Verlander, like one of those guys.
Yeah, I believe I had him on Houston.
Yeah.
Hold on. If you give me as you rattle off teams, I'll pull up the standings.
Yeah. So like, I'd say Framber's probably one in Houston. Shane Bieber's injured in Cleveland right now, but maybe that factored into your equation of, since he is injured, I honestly
can't remember. I think I might have given Bieber the nod.
Okay.
I would have given him hey, let's pretend he's healthy. I'd give him the nod. He is a Cy Young.
Yeah. So Bieber, Garrett Cole.
Yep.
Gosman.
I didn't put him over Gosman. I did not put him over Burns. I put him as the number one on the Rays and the Red Sox.
Yeah. And then if you go over to the NL, I mean, Yamamoto or Glasnow, I'm guessing still gets the edge there.
Yeah.
Did you give Logan the edge over that Giants rotation? Like, obviously Blake Snell has two.
I did not put him over Webb. I did not put him over Logan Webb. Logan Webb's been pretty good.
Yeah. So Logan Webb. Yeah. I was going to say Blake Snell with the two.
Logan Webb or Snell, but yeah, he's not the number one on the Giants.
Right. Is he the number one on the D-backs over Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly? Okay, no. So you have Gallen over Logan Gilbert there.
He would be on the Padres.
Yes.
And he would be on the Rockies.
I will say Dylan Cease has gotten off to a good start. Very good start. But we can take Logan. That's right. That's fine. Okay, NL Central. This is actually just kind of a fun exercise to run through. He would be better than most of the Central, I would say.
He would. Him and Freddie. I can't remember if I picked him over Freddie Peralta. It's close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Freddie's pretty good. I put him as the number one on the Cubs. I put him as the number one on the Reds and the Pirates, maybe until Skeens comes up, and then the Cardinals.
Yeah. And then you go NL East. That Phillies rotation's really good. So Logan's probably not over Zach Wheeler, but Marlins,
Braves,
Nationals,
no, because I'm pretending Strider's still healthy. But the other three, he's the number one.
Mets, Marlins, and Nationals. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Logan Gilbert's a number one on a lot of teams right now. Like, look at this. Logan Gilbert is first in the American League in batting average against. Opponents are hitting 161 against him. He's fourth in baseball in whip. This guy is 100% in the Cy Young conversation right now. It's about a month into the year. There's a long ways to go. But he is absolutely in the Cy Young conversation right now. And there's a lot of guys in the American League that have gotten off to really good starts, like Cutter Crawford, for example, off to an awesome start. But Logan Gilbert's very much in the running right now.
You know why this is so important? Because the Mariners sneakily already have a gauntlet of teams they're right in the midst of. So the Mariners just finished a 3-game series with the Rangers, who are the number 12 team in WRC Plus this season, and the Mariners took 2 of 3. That's great. However, so the Mariners already this season had faced 4 top 10 offenses by WRC Plus. They split with the Guardians, and then they lost series to the Cubs, Blue Jays, and Brewers. So that's a negative right there. However, they have a chance to make up with it because they now, starting tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks, have 3 more in a row that are in the top 10, the Diamondbacks, the Braves, and the Houston Astros. The Astros have been kind of garbage this year, but they still are mash the baseball. So it's a big week and a half.
Surprised the Diamondbacks are a top 10 offense. I mean, numbers never lie, but I'm surprised they are. Yeah.
You see Corbin's been swinging like a cardboard tube since last June.
So I don't want to say anything too negative because, spoiler alert, we're trying to talk to him and do some content with him this weekend. Like, so little spoiler alert. One thing that TJ and I have wanted to implement this year into some of our social content is, along with all the player content we do with the Mariners, we thought it would be fun to get some of the Pacific Northwest guys that grew up in the area that are on other teams, and when they come into town, do some Mariners content with them. So who would be first on that list this year? Well, the Diamondbacks are in town. Corbin Carroll. So I don't want to rip the guy. And we know, look, when he's at his best, he's one of the best players in this entire sport, but he is off to a really tough start to begin the year. And like you said, he's had a tough go of it since about the second half of last year. And I think there's a correlation. I think that shoulder he kind of messed up before the All-Star break has something to do with it, because it doesn't make any sense as somebody as good as Corbin Carroll with such a steady profile would be swinging it like this.
Yeah, he's slugging like under 370 since that moment.
Right.
For him, that shouldn't be it. We know he has really good power. It just kind of unfathomable. People know him for his speed, but that dude mashes the baseball. So for his sake, hope he turns it around after this weekend.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
He can go 1 for 12 or whatever this weekend, and then once they get back to playing National League teams or when they play American League teams and interleague play for the Mariners' sake too. Yeah, just go back to going off, Corbin.
But this is an important stretch. I mean, the Mariners again have notched their first win of the first series win against a top 12 offense thanks to their pitching staff. Can they keep it up? Time will tell, because the early parts of the season has showed when they faced the better offenses, they've come up on the short end of the stick.
Right. And it'll be a test. Now, one break the Mariners catch this weekend against the Diamondbacks is they're not going to face Merrill Kelly, because unfortunately for him, he just hit the injured list. He was scheduled, if the rotation had stayed the same in Arizona, to pitch against the Mariners this weekend. So the Mariners would have gotten Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly. Now they're just going to get Gallen on Friday, and then they have a chance Saturday and Sunday to really take that series. Friday's matchup certainly does not favor them. The next two should, with Kirby going, and then it would be Logan Gilbert going. So you would, the offense is going to have to hit, but that Saturday, Sunday is the Mariners' real target window for taking that series.
What a next 6 days at T-Mobile Park. Quite a lot of returns coming in the next 6 days.
I think we're going to have some to talk about on Wednesday's show. I think there's one in particular we're really going to have to talk about on Wednesday's show. No, I'm not talking about Gino. No, I'm not talking about if Paul Sewald ends up making the trip this weekend. It doesn't sound like he will, because he's doing some rehab outings right now, but we'll see. If he does, that'd be great, because he deserves an ovation. No, I'm talking about one certain guy during the weekday series.
He's got good initials.
He does have good initials. He does have very good initials. It rhymes, or it simulates with just kidding.
It is, just to go along with the latest trend, it's between H and L.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right, we can spend like 90 seconds on this, and then I'm sure we'll talk about it more Sunday on the live stream, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, we do live streams every Sunday now on YouTube and Instagram, so make sure to come hang out with us then, and I'm sure we'll dive into it much more on Wednesday's show, but not like 90 seconds here, because we're not going to record an actual podcast until close to the end of that Brave series. Is Jared Kelenic getting booed?
I think so.
That's going to it's going to break my heart, because everybody who listens to this podcast knows I will always be a Jared Kelenic fan. But unfortunately, I know it's not reasonable, but unfortunately with fan brain, I think because how he left the org, like, the social post thanked everybody except the organization. And then he had some stuff to say on Foul Territory, and he had some stuff to say at FanFest about Truist Park. Oh, it's better than Seattle. People have seen that stuff make its rounds. So how he will be received, I think it has something to do with how many people are in the ballpark that night. Will the Braves draw a big crowd? It's possible. It's an attractive team to come see. If there's a real crowd in the ballpark that night, it's possible. But if it's like 12, if it's 15 to 20,000 people, might not be that noticeable. We'll see.
And you have the prospect flame out factor, and the fact, and when he broke his foot right in the middle of the summer, and there are a lot of people out there, which if you feel this way, then you're more than entitled to your opinion, that feel like the reason the Mariners turned it around in August last year is because Jared Kelenic was not playing.
Yeah.
Period. If that's what you truly believe, then you are more than happy to see Jared gone in the off season, because you'd hope the correlation would continue.
Yeah, I don't think I believe that, but there are people out there that believe that. So,
right.
Yeah.
So it stinks. I hope he doesn't get booed. I don't think he deserves to get booed, but he probably will. I think there will be at least 30%, if not more, that will do it.
Yeah. By the time we record our next true podcast, it'll come out on the morning before the finale of the series. Likely he will have played before then, because the Mariners rotation is all right-handed pitchers. So we'll probably have an answer on how it goes.
Yeah. So we'll be interested if he comes back and hits like 4 homers. Yeah. What we're leading off Wednesday's show with.
Oh yeah.